As Malcolm Gladwell documents in his latest book, Outliers, there is no such thing as a self-made person. We are beneficiaries of a web of advantages and inheritances, some deserved, some not, some earned, some just plain lucky, but all critical to making us who we are. When I started practicing law in 1976, firms and clients did not want women in the dining room, much less the courtroom, trying their cases. Business clubs excluded women, making it difficult, if not impossible, to network or even to attend a lunch meeting. As they left us in hallways across America, many male lawyers had no hesitation to say, "We'd like you to come, but we're going to the athletic club and they don't allow women." But I had a huge cultural advantage, although I did not perceive it as such at the time. My parents, Marcus and Teresa Luchter, were Holocaust survivors who immigrated to America in 1946 after surviving Nazi concentration camps. Our family was different from our neighbors. I was different from my classmates. I always felt like an outsider. That men did not want me in their clubs or trying their cases felt very much like showing up for the first day of kindergarten without speaking English. My parents taught my brother Andy and me that in America we could achieve our dreams if we worked hard enough. Andy, who is a professor of psychiatry at UCLA, is here today. Whenever things went badly for me, I just knew that if I worked harder, I would succeed the next time. No one works harder than a child of immigrants. That is what Malcolm Gladwell would call my cultural legacy. Many who work in Holocaust remembrance focus on the perpetrators or the victims or the rescuers. I was always haunted by the bystanders. The Holocaust could not have occurred without bystanders. Women could not have been denied equal access to clients or to equity partnerships without bystanders. Fortunately for me, not everyone was a bystander. Two institutions have been central to my life and to my career. The first is my beloved University of Texas School of Law, represented here today by Dean Larry Sager, a good friend to me and to the newly established Center for Women in Law. 5 founders of the center are here with me today: Laura Hagan, Peggy Haig, Gail Watkins, Laura McMahon, and Marcy Greer. The second institution is my law firm, Fulbright & Jaworski, represented by my partners, clients, and friends at tables 1, 2, 5, 8, and 9. My support at Fulbright came first from men with a fundamental sense of fairness. In 1976, thanks to the leadership and vision of managing partner Gibson Gale Jr., Fulbright was the only major Texas firm that would hire me to try cases. When some clients called to say that they did not want a girl handling their cases, the firm told them that we had one kind of lawyer, and that was a Fulbright & Jaworski lawyer, and they would take who the firm sent them. How many firms had the courage to do that in the late 70s? How many would have the courage to do that today? I also am grateful to my friend and former partner Blake Tart, who mentored me for many years. These opportunities are what Malcolm Gladwell would call lucky breaks. In 2001, I became the first woman to serve on Fulbright's executive committee. I called my good friend and Fulbright alum, Carolyn King, who was chief of the Fifth Circuit at the time. Carolyn was on the bench and who herself would go on and receive this wonderful award 4 years later in 2005. Carolyn was on the bench in New Orleans when I called. I left a 4-word message: hell has frozen over. She called me back immediately. Fulbright is now a global firm. Under Steve Pfeiffer's leadership, I am one of 3 people to serve on our 6-person executive committee, and in March of this year, I was asked to head our 140-lawyer New York office. 2 key offices, New York and London, are headed by women, and women lead departments, practice groups, key committees, and teams. It is a privilege to be their partner and to have their support. I thank my women partners for nominating me for this award, especially Marcy Greer, Kathy Keneally, Laura McMahon, and Joyce Holloway. The practice of law is like a prolonged boxing match. When one is out in the ring, she needs someone in her corner to splash water on her face and say, "You can do it, get back out there." The person who has done that for me is my husband, Max, to whom I have been married for 32 years next month. Max is an accomplished lawyer, and my career has always been as important to him as it is to me. I would not be here today without him. Our daughter, Alexandra, who is a source of endless joy, has learned from his example. On my first day as head of our New York office, Alexandra sent me an email that said simply, "Mommy, you will rock in New York." Women are indeed rocking the legal profession, but discrimination persists and it is subtle. How does one quantify the harm done by an introduction not made or an invitation not extended? Without action, the legal profession will not achieve gender parity until 2088. No one should be a bystander while that happens. The ABA Commission on Women has been at the forefront of the fight for equality. The Center for Women in Law now joins forces with the Commission. This spring, the Center hosted the first Women's Power Summit on Law and Leadership, an historic gathering of women leaders of the profession. The summit produced the Austin Manifesto, which commits to specific, measurable, achievable goals that finally will level the playing field. We invite you to join us. In the words of basketball great Lisa Leslie, "Don't let the lipstick fool you." I suspect I speak not only for myself, but for all the honorees when I say to the young women here, we do not want to be your role models. We want you to get up here and help lead the way. To that end, I have simple advice. First, seek power. And when you get it, use it to help other women and to help men as well. For those of you who think you don't want power, wake up and smell the cappuccino. Secondly, climb and lift. As you make your way up the ladder, take others with you. Third, don't go it alone. Birds fly faster in formation, and so will you. And fourth, wear sunscreen. I thank the ABA Commission on Women for this enormous honor. By honoring me, you have honored my family, my partners, the University of Texas School of Law, and the Center for Women in Law. And for that, I am profoundly grateful.